Who are you? What have you actually achieved in life? What's your social status? No, really. What do you contribute? I've been asking myself those questions for the past 20 years until I recently finally understood who I want to be. I want to be nobody. And after watching this video, you might want to be nobody too. I'm Camilla, this is my honest kitchen. Grab some coffee and let's talk. Of course, I don't mean nobody as in I've given up or I'm done with life. Not at all. Let me explain. Think for a moment what is the most common question we ask children. And you probably guessed it right. What do you want to be when you grow up? I hope you guessed it, otherwise it's awkward. From early childhood, we've been told that the point of life is to become someone, to achieve, to leave a mark, to be useful, recognized, respectful, to hold a title, a role. And if you don't become someone obvious, if you don't stand out, you are seen as if you wasted your life. We are so trained to tie our value to our usefulness, to our visibility, to our output, that simply existing without proving anything can feel like failure. Achievement has become a cult, especially when you're a millennial watching younger generation get rich faster than you ever did. They are buying houses, Teslas, launching apps. Some of them are out protesting and changing the policies. Others from your generation are building empires and sending rockets to space. And what are you doing while all of them are saving the world? You're watching them from your phone screen. I am watching them from my phone screen. Then your mom calls you on some random Tuesday and just casually mentions, do you remember Simon who sat next to you in the classroom? He's at Washington now and he takes his wife and kids to brunch at Soho every weekend. And what about you? When I was born, my parents dreamed I'd become a businesswoman, of course. When I showed some talent for dance and art in school, they hoped I'd pursue arts. Later, they decided I should go into politics, so they sent me to study journalism and public relations. I graduated and became a journalist. Honestly, a very average one. I remember standing outside green rooms with shaky hands and a notebook full of stupid questions and thinking, you have to do this. Get a good quote, get noticed, get validated. But almost no one ever noticed me. Celebrities looked through me, politicians didn't even listen, few entertainers, I believe they were comedians, made fun of me openly during the interview. But still, I pushed through because I had ambitions. I became a chief editor and I quit 2 months later. Because one day there was a plane crashed in my city and my boss expected me to rush to the site and get the quotes from the families of the victims, and that's when I knew I don't want to live like this anymore. Eventually I found my dream company, I found my dream job, and my parents were so proud of me because of a good salary and I was traveling all over the world. First I was a writer, then a publishing editor, then a game producer, and still after 6 or 7 years, every morning before I even opened my eyes, I was thinking, why am I not in charge yet? Why I'm not rich? Why my project ideas are not as creative as everyone else's? Why he was promoted and not me? How do I level up? How do I double my salary? I had a mental checklist, the things that I needed to do. To learn how to drive, to buy an apartment, to help my parents build a house, to have children, to become a boss. And maybe end up on a wall of honor somewhere, why not? Because parents should be proud of me. Because relatives should take me as an example, because the world should know that I've earned my place. And I really did try to achieve all of those things. I kept telling myself, Camilla, once you've done all this, then you will be happy. Then your real life will begin. But now you need to prove your worth through work, brilliance, contribution, success. For me, it was almost moral duty to be excellent, to be productive and ambitious. There is one very famous and very powerful but very dangerous book. I think it's one of the most influential books of the 20th century, but still very dangerous. And its name is Atlas Shrugged. I remember reading this book in my late 20s and I was feeling this strange electricity like I had to become something, someone significant. The idea is that your worth is tied to your output, that you owe it to the world to rise above mediocrity. And for a while I lived in this belief. Quiet days were wasted days and rest was a weakness, and I lived like that until my body started failing me. I got sick almost every month. I developed intense allergies. My left eye was swollen constantly. I couldn't sleep and every night I scratched myself raw from stress. I'm not here to discredit the book because it gave me fuel when I needed it. It's brilliant. but also it planted some kind of exhaustion, feeling that nothing I did would ever be enough unless it's great. That book made me feel truly small, truly useless. It made me feel like nobody. And it took me years to realize that being nobody is exactly what I want. The truth is, I haven't done anything great with my life. Not great, not even moderately impressive. I didn't become an executive. I didn't buy real estate. I didn't help my parents build their house. I didn't invent any medicine or discover a star or change the world for better. And for a long time, that was eating me alive. Am I really just a useless member of society? Until I asked myself, who decided that a life's worth can be measured in usefulness? Who said joy has to be earned through contribution? And I realized I don't want to spend the rest of my life chasing a version of myself that only exists to be validated by others. I don't need to be extraordinary. I don't need to constantly optimize, hustle, and reinvent myself. I don't want to scale my life like a business. Yes, maybe I am globally useless, but I still have the right to joy. And you have the right to joy. To that quiet warmth in the chest from things no one will ever see or celebrate. Because your right to exist doesn't have to be earned. I just want to live my life quietly, meaningfully, in my own rhythm. And that might look like very little from the outside. One of my favorite Japanese movies is Perfect Days. It's about a man who lives quiet and simple life. He works as a public toilet cleaner. He photographs trees, listens to cassette tapes, and reads books and finds beauty in details. From the outside, this life seems monotonous and small. But the way he pays attention to sunlight, to the movements of leaves, to his morning rituals, makes his existence feel full. I'd be lying if I said I fully freed myself from ambition or from envy of other people's success, money, or beauty. I am far from a monk and from that movie character either. But I feel joy more often. I don't wake up with anxiety anymore, and I haven't had a cold in 2 years. My allergies are gone, and I'm sleeping now, instead of writing new strategies for conquering Olympus. I am happy to be nobody. And the strange thing is, it was only when I finally let go, when I stopped pushing myself, stopped feeling the need to prove anything to anyone, that I began to notice my real talents, the things that come naturally to me, things that I learn easily, not because they boost my status, but because they feel right, they feel like mine. And that's where ambition, the real, healthy ambition, my personal ambition, started to grow from within. I think I'm crying. Also, after watching these Perfect Days, I started asking myself, what are those ordinary, small things that make my life feel full? What makes me feel present? What makes my life uniquely mine? I want to show you some of mine now, and I want you to think about your own. What are those little specific things that make your life yours? What are the ordinary moments that make you feel alive? And I hope that after that, you'll realize just how unique you and your life truly are. I like the sounds of my home. I feel joy when my dog lets me rub her belly. Bonnie has major trust issues because of her previous tough life on the streets, so those moments go deep for me. I love washing white bed linen specifically. There is something about it that makes me feel special kind of clean. I love the smell of garlic and melted butter. I'm obsessed with garlic in general, it's always in my kitchen. Every time I leave the house, I walk past this cactus and check to see if it has bloomed yet. Lately I've been fixated on flowers, photographing them, dreaming of painting them on my ceramics. I spent 2 years collecting Lord of the Rings chess pieces. My favorite ritual is going through every figure and studying the details, even the ones that make me want to cry. I'm not a clean freak, but I can't handle a dirty stove. I wipe it down like 4 times a day sometimes. I hate the heat, but I love late summer and early fall evenings. Bonnie and I always go to the backyard to look at the stars. I hate coffee, but I'm obsessed with all kinds of tea. Breakfasts made by Scott have a special place in my heart. Our morning rituals make me feel close to him. Whenever I buy or make fresh bread, I have to bite off the crunchy edge. Otherwise, what's the point of fresh bread? I love so many things in my life, and most of them don't serve any purpose. Not for society, not even for me. But I'm not going to trade them in for something more ambitious just to prove the world that I deserve my oxygen. I choose to be nobody and to live my life the way I want to, because I love it. Because this is the only life I'll ever have.